Alright guys, so as a lot of you guys know, I always like to push the envelope, so to speak, you know, when it comes to making my blades, especially my production blades. And a lot of you guys know I have a blade out there that's called the Bushman. And the Bushman's primary purpose was to be a very simple, affordable blade, you know, rounded edge handle, maybe with a drop point or a clip point, you know, 2-inch diameter. So, you know, 5/32 because it would make it very lightweight. I found that the problem with that is that it's very similar to some of the other blades I make, like the Cat-Do, like the Master Chief, if I can get it out of here. So I don't like to have multiple blades, you know, in the same arena, because it's just basically playing to the same type of I guess style. And what I really wanted to do was make a knife, specifically a bushcraft knife. And I know a lot of bushcraft knives, there's a lot of them out there, and they're called bushcraft and not necessarily bushcraft, but they sort of look something like this design. Sort of like a small torpedo edged type deal. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to discontinue this Bushman and make this one the Bushman. Okay? I think the name is synonymous with what it does. I don't have to rename it, I'm just changing the blade. So the blades that are, you know, that were listed as the Bushman are now going to be off the website. I mean, I'll keep a couple of them up there in the photo gallery and just put this one to rest. And then what I'll do is the new Bushman style, or 2.0, is going to be a traditional bushcraft knife. Okay, something very similar to that. And I'm going to sell that one as the Bushman. Alright, I think it just makes sense. I like to have a lot of blades to choose from when it comes to production knives, because I want to be able to reach everybody. So if I can, you know, say, look, you know, if you want a Master Chief as a combat knife or as a field knife, great. But you might want something a little bit smaller. Well, what do you have that's smaller? Well, you got the Mosquito, which is, you know, kind of tiny, but it's a good neck knife. Or you have maybe the Grasshopper, which is a nice EDC, but it's still smaller. So maybe you want something a little bit longer, a little bit more bushcraft-esque. So that definitely will fill the bill right there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a couple of those, see how they sell. If they sell, then great. I think this is a better plan. This is a better way to go about things. Alright guys, you could watch along, and just wanted to give you the update, but I'll be making a few of these, and you know, you can call it the Bushman 2.0 if you want, but I'm just going to call it the Bushman, and hopefully you know, we'll get a couple of these out to heat treat, and we'll start selling them. You know, I haven't decided a price cost yet. I'll have to figure it out, but you know, we'll figure that out when we get to it. Alright, thanks for watching. Alright guys, so I got a couple blanks here already cut out now, all cut by hand as you can see. These are 3/16 inch thick 1095s. Like I said, the handle is going to be very ergonomic, simple knife, very traditional. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a Scandi grind on all these blades. Alright, sticking with tradition guys. Alright guys, so now I got the majority of the grinds and I got them all straightened out the way I want. What I'm going to do is a surface grind, clean up all the edges, and then I'm going to have to go in here with the Dremel just to clean it up. But usually what I do is I use a used belt because I don't want to take too much off. I just want to straighten it out and you know, get all the rough stuff off. This is a U60 belt, so you're looking at maybe a 70 or 80 grit at this point. And I just use my 100-pound magnet and just run it flat on the flat. That's all I'm doing. That's all it took. Clean it up nice. Alright guys, so there you have it. That's the new and improved Bushman. Is a very traditional style bushcrafting knife. I'll give you some specs. The overall on this is 9 inches. The blade is approximately an inch and I'm gonna say an inch and a quarter. The blade lengthwise is about 4.5 inches, which I think is also very traditional. You know, 3/16 inch thick, nice thick piece of steel. Scandi grind up to 1/4 of an inch. You could see that right there on both sides. And I think the idea behind the Scandi grind, because it's so it's a short, sharp type grind, and the idea behind that, I believe, is so when you make cuts, you don't have to make these long cuts. It almost works like an axe. An axe's job is not to make a long cut, but to make short, choppy cuts to remove the wood as fast as possible. And I think that's the idea behind these blades, and that's why they usually are Scandi grinds, if I'm correct. If I'm not correct, you guys can let me know. But basically, 1095 high carbon steel, 1, 2, 3. These are going to be solid pinholes, probably going to be peened over, and then I'll have a lanyard loop in the back. Fits very well, very comfortable in the hand. Unfortunately, I don't have a leather worker yet. I'm still working on that. I can make Kydex sheets with these, and what I'm going to do is, if you're interested, if you go on the accessories page, I do have an accessory that you can use. I think I have 3/8 or something like that. I have a 3/8 3-inch long ferrocerium rod, and what I do is I make a little pouch for it that you could put on the side of the sheath. So, and it's all Kydex, so it's really up to you. But if you go on the accessories, you could take a look at how I do it. And that's it. These got to go to heat treat. If you can see on this one right here, it's marked T. All right, that stands for template. I always send the blades off, and then one of them is going to be marked as a template because that's the one I want to keep. That's usually the one that has the straightest lines. You know, it's just my own preference. The one that comes out to my eye the best is going to be a template, so I can make multiples of that. And of course, if I always want to send it to a water jetter, it's going to be the most accurate. Now, a lot of people said, well, you know, it's a bushcraft knife, you should put jimping. Technically, on a bushcraft knife, such as these, there is no jimping. And the reason they don't put jimping on there is because when your hands are cold and wet, and if you put jimping up here, it'll rub your thumb raw. All right. Also, there's no coating on these. A lot of people say that, you know, you coat it to keep it from rusting, and it's true, you can coat it, but what they wind up doing is scratching the coat off the top for the Pharisaium rod, or they cut some type of loophole in there to make sure that that works. So these are just options, guys. I'm just giving you the basics of what a true bushcraft knife is. Overall, it's a great looking knife. I know you can buy these from Condor, and I think Blind Horse makes a couple of these, and there's a couple knockoffs. But I just wanted to be able to expand my production blades. The last Bushmans didn't really sell, obviously, because I think they all look relatively similar, and I don't like that. I like to have different types of blades, for everybody's little specific niche. So if you want a neck knife, I have one of those. If you want a big monster killer, I have one of those. Now if you want a bush knife, I have one of those. So that's really the idea behind my thinking when it comes into production knives. So if you're interested, I will list the price on the website. I still got to do some research to find out how much these things usually go for. I know it took me, it's an easier knife to make than most. You just have to be careful with the Scandi grind. But other than that, it's really nice shape, really easy to use, comfortable. A lot of folks don't like the 3/16. They figure that a thinner blade will do well for skinning. But what you got to realize, guys, is this is a bushcraft knife. It's not a skinning knife. Bushcraft is made for bush crafting, not necessarily skinning animals. You can use it to skin animals. You can use any knife. You can use a scissor to skin animals. But bushcraft knife is usually about a 9 or 10 inch blade, about a 4 to 5 inch overall on the blade length, and either some type of Scandi or saber grind. And the reason for that, like I said, is to make short choppy cuts. The tip has to be very, very strong, which is why a Scandi grind works very well, because you're only removing enough of the tip so that it won't snap off. You just want a nice sharp edge up there, and it has a nice, really, really deep drop point right there, so you can see that. Alright guys, like I said, if you're interested, go up to the website. I will put one of these just as a picture so you guys know what it is. Once they come back from heat treat, I'll put the handles on, obviously to your liking, whichever ones you like. And let me know what you guys think. If you're interested in one of these, you could always pre-buy it. Pre-order it, I should say, because now you know they're already made. So once my next batch of heat treat comes back, which is probably going to be, I don't know, a week or two, these are going directly into the fire. So it's probably figure October sometime if you want. So place your orders now. I'll keep them on hold. Your name will be attached to it, and that's it. You'll get them. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Go to 3riverblades.com. Thanks. Out.